Thank you everyone for staying with us here on Big Talk. I'm Muyi Agumofwegbe. It's a great evening across the FCT, that is the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria's capital as we know it. Tonight is a bit, if you like, eventful for us because we are dedicating this edition of the program to discussing the place of women in politics, Nigerian politics. In particular, the dynamics that are, if you like, exclusive to women, how women have tried, made all the efforts, if you like, in some cases, shattered the so-called glass ceiling, just to ensure they not only find their place within the space of politics and governance, but that they also bring to the fore their competencies, their skill sets, and all of the track records that they've got from across a spectrum of endeavors. However, the challenges, that is the headwinds that women have to grapple with in Nigeria have never been mistaken from stereotypes, whether within religious or ethnic circles, have also been very palpable. However, we have a handful of women who have defied these odds and have long gone ahead to make history, not just for themselves, but for their constituents and for all of those who have believed in them over time. Tonight, we want to meet one of such women, and that will be right after this break. Do stay with us, everyone. We appreciate you staying with us. My guest tonight is a woman, and that makes a whole lot of difference because for the most part, our guests on this show are men. But I'd like you to meet her quickly. Honorable Zainab Buba Galadima. She's a politician, a governance enthusiast, as well as somebody who has seen power and influence within the public space, either as an elected member of the legislative arm, talking about AMAC here in Abuja, or someone who had been appointed to work in the office of the Vice President. Zainab, I can't say thank you enough for making our time to join us on the program tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I forgot to mention that you are a poet as well. The only mistake I made is I never made out time to look at maybe one of your poetic works. Right? How's that coming with poetry and politics?
Yeah, well, each and every one has its own time. So,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting together a book for the poetry. Yeah. So
that's great. So somebody looks at you, as they say, we don't look like what we've been through. You don't look like someone who has had the privilege to serve in certain capacity, because your appearance, your physical appearance, is an injustice, so to speak, to the amount of privilege of service that you have had over time. Talk to us about how challenging it is for a woman to lead in Nigeria on any level.
Well, lead in the sense that seeking for office or being appointed
across
to
board.
office. Well, a lot of women face a lot of things, and the main problem is gender. You know, oh, she's a woman, maybe she's not capable enough as a man, you know, to do this, or she probably doesn't reason well, or she does. But I believe, you know, when a woman stands and then a woman is educated enough and has the capacity, that's magic. You know, a lot of women have that ability to be able to serve, but they don't have that chance because maybe they do not have somebody to hold their hands and take them up. You know, we do not have mentorship in politics in Nigeria. We hardly have this fora where women, you know, mentor women, or men mentor. Some men do take up women and mentor them and, you know, help them reach their goals. But we do not have much of that because a lot of women feel that, oh, okay, there's a stigma attached to me being a politician. You know, especially in far up north, culture-wise or religious-wise, they'll be like, oh no, she's irresponsible for her to be there. So there are a lot of reasons where women step back and decide, no, I can't do this because I feel I can't take the heat. But there are strong women that are coming up and they're joining, and as we can see, the new government, a lot of women are in positions of power, and I believe they will do, a lot of good for the people.
You come with quite commendable credential. I mean, you have sizable education. You have impressive. I mean, you have had some opportunities to serve in government. What have you done differently? What has worked for you that other women probably haven't done or hasn't worked for them? Some persons will naturally assume your father's name opens the doors for you.
Well, in the beginning, when I first came back from England after my studies, I came in and I served in National Assembly 2011 to 2012. And
in what capacity was it?
NYC.
All right.
But I had finished my degree way back in 2006. So, but I had a couple of master's degrees, about 3, before I came back to, to serve. So while I was serving, at the end of my service, my father was just like, you're an activist. Every protest, you're over there, doing this, doing that. Why don't you get into the system? And that is when you'll be able to make the real change. Then I asked around, and there was a local government elections going on. Like, okay, maybe I should try. I really didn't think it was that hard. I thought maybe if you come present yourself and say, oh, okay, this is what I have to offer. I'm just here to serve you. This is what I'll do differently, and this, people will just, clap for you and vote for you, and that's it. And then you just get to work.
So you got the shock of your life when you realized what the realities are here?
Oh yeah, my first crime in politics was, after he said that, I went to the headquarters of CPC, Congress for Progressive Change.
That later evolved to become the APC alongside other parties?
Yes, and I took a form. And that was the greatest mistake I've ever made. Because apparently if you're getting into politics, you're supposed to go to your ward and register. So they took me as an arrogant person, and they were grudges, like, okay, her father is the national secretary, he wants to impose her on us, so we need to frustrate her, chase her away. And they told me, somebody called my attention, they'd be like, no, you can't do this. So I went back, reintroduced myself, apologized, and did it properly. But many of them never forgave me. They were like, so anytime I tried to do something, they would just come and hit me. Out of 27 executives, only one woman was with me. She was the only woman.
The other women, what happened to them? They took sides against you?
There were no women.
Just men, all the way?
Yeah. The executives, there were no women. Just one. The woman, or 2 actually, woman leader and deputy woman leader. So, and that was how, she was talking to a couple of people. But still, they were like, you have to be able to grease them somehow. So
what was the context when you say grease them?
The logistics.
Does it involve money?
Of course, it is money. It is money. They hardly for you to get people to do things for free for you when you come to run for office, because they just feel you're just a money bag and you've come to spend. So this is their Christmas, and we got into talking, so we started campaigning, so we were preparing for the primaries, but it was a direct primaries. So it involves people lining up, card-carrying members of CPC, to line up and vote for who they think will serve them. And
who they think will serve them, not the people?
Yeah, the people that have the card.
Not the masses, not the people they represent. The party chieftains?
No, not the party. In every party there are card-carrying members.
Right.
There are members of, so this card-carrying members that are on the register are the ones that you need to converse with, tell them what you have to do.
So they can throw their weight behind you.
Exactly.
And that doesn't come for free, does it?
For some, it's okay. It's not, they really would do that. At that time, they weren't that, CPC was the kind of political party that had so much ideology. The Buhari ideology, the people had so much passion.
What was the Buhari ideology? Because for 8 years, people questioned that ideology.
Yes, exactly, but that was before then. This was
so he lost it upon coming into office? 2012,
2013. And whoever you are, no matter how popular, no matter how kind, how nice you are, once you get into office, your popularity drops.
What's the factor responsible for that?
Because governance is different. Governance is reality.
It's different from when you're campaigning and canvassing for support.
Yeah. Like you now, for example, you and I are just sitting down and looking at them, in the corridors of power or on seats of power, but we do not know the challenges they face. There are some people who come, make promises, and say, I'll do this, I'll do that. Until you get there, then you realize that this is something you can never do.
You mentioned your father a while ago. I mean, you both are on, say, two different sides of the same coin now. I mean, your father is not just an influential figure in Nigerian politics. He is a force to be reckoned with within the fold of the NNPP, the New Nigeria People's Party. How does that influence your participation in politics, seeing that you are a card-carrying member of the APC who has evolved, so to speak, into APC?
Well, there are goods and there are bads, but the bad is more.
Why is that?
Because, you know, some women fight for gender and other things. People don't even see my gender. I don't have that problem of gender because they don't even consider that I have a gender or something. I am just his daughter. First of all, they will deal with me in that capacity. That's how they deal with me. And unfortunately, people do not think about, oh, okay, she has something to offer. She's old enough to be wherever she is. She's educated. She has experience or anything. They don't want to see about that. Whose daughter she is. And this man is giving us headache. So that is a problem. So I find myself in a place where I know that I'm not too comfortable because I feel like they do not trust me. The trust is, there's this bad energy, you know, or maybe there are so many opportunities where people or women can have, but I'm just sitting down there. Even if I ask, okay, can I be sent on an assignment? They wouldn't.
Do you think, given what you've said so far, that your father's stance politically could be a disadvantage for you?
Yeah, it is.
So you wish your father went as hard stanced as he is right now?
He is an adult, and I am proud of him, and I would not change my father for anybody.
Right.
You know, he can do him, and I can do me. Anything that does not come for me is not for me, and it's okay. The table is getting closer. People are leaving the table. Some are getting there. One day I'll be on that table. What's the hurry?
Has your father ever tried to get you into the NNPP?
No.
Never attempted to?
You know, in our house, there are different political parties.
Amongst you and your siblings?
Yeah. And people that every day, at least 100 people walk in and out of the house and eat. You see different people. During elections, you see this one driving with Peter Obi's car. You see this one drive in with Atiku.
They're coming to see your dad?
Yeah, they come, they eat, they play, they talk, they go. Everybody has the right to associate. Everybody has the right to do anything. My father told me something. When General Buhari won elections in 2015, he called me before inauguration. He sat me down. He said, I want you to understand something. It is not by your intelligence. It is not by your qualification. It is not by your connection. It is not by your sacrifice, all the things that you've been doing, jumping up and down, campaigning, you know. It is not by all of that. It is by your time and by your luck.
In politics?
Yes. It is by your time and by your luck. So if nothing goes your way, please, I want you to take it lightly. Do not let it bother you. Because if not, you'll find yourself going crazy. So I need you to understand that. Time and luck is what you need.
Have you ever been under pressure politically, maybe to vie for office, to serve in certain capacity or something?
Not on, yeah, in 2015, you know, I tried to run for House of Reps here.
You lost it?
Oh yeah, I lost it. I didn't have money. I came third.
Was it because you didn't have money or because you were not popular enough? Which of them is it?
It was not the popularity. I was popular enough. Because when I was running for councillor, you'll be surprised, a lot of people know me, even if I do not know them. And because of my poster, a lot of people even offered to give me money. I didn't know them. People were just contributing to my campaign. So it is not about being popular. There are some people that will just wake up today and say, oh, okay, I want to, but people know me. So it's not about popularity. It is about the highest bidder. And I couldn't even bid. So there was no way I could be the highest bidder. And you know, people will tell you, oh, okay, we're with you. Why don't you come, run, do this, you know, we're with you. If you're campaigning as an aspirant, wherever you go, when you leave that place, you will leave more confident because people will tell you things that you would want to hear. that don't worry, you are the winner. You know, they'll be using jargon, is it slogans or whatever, that, okay, you know, this is a done deal, you know, we will work for you, we'll support you, you will win, or you have won already, and all those things. And people do not understand. That is why I tell people, whenever you're joining politics, don't just join now, just to run for elections now. Just build yourself. It is a process.
So you have to be futuristic.
Yes, build yourself. There are some people that have that luck, that as soon as they get in, I was lucky. I just came back, got in, took a form, and I won elections. I went against 5 men and I won. But it wasn't easy. And I don't want to go through that experience again. You know, whoever runs and loses or wins an election, the worst time you can find yourself, or the craziest time, is when you are waiting for results.
The tension that comes with it.
Oh yeah. I could not, after I heard that I won, I was numb. Because everybody was against me. It was me against a PDP guy that was being bankrolled by the president's wife.
At the time?
Yes.
Ireti Kingibe won just this year as senator on the platform of the Labour Party. How much does that inspire you, and how much of inspiration do you think young and aspiring women in politics can draw from that?
Number one, she's my mentor.
Even though you're not in the same party?
Yeah, we were in the same party at some point, but when I was running for office, she made sure, because she is quite powerful here in Abuja, she made sure everybody, wherever she is known and liked, she made sure they voted for me.
Even though probably there was somebody from a party who was also running for that same office?
Because she said a woman first, and I didn't know her. She knows my dad, but I didn't have that
one-to-one contact with her.
Until at some point maybe I met her once or twice, and that was it. So, you know, it is so, and I wish she could be able to, you know, express and actually be able to do what she really wants to do deep down inside her heart, because I know that she has a lot of things to offer people.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you this. I mean, you had the privilege of service, as I'd like to call it, in the government of former President Muhammadu Buhari, particularly in the office of the Vice President. I'm not going to ask you how proud or otherwise you are of that government, but do you have any regrets?
I do.
What are your regrets?
I think I let people stomp on me. I lost my morale. I didn't have the fire that I had in me.
Did you compromise, I mean, your values at that time?
No, you can only compromise your value when you are faced with something. I was appointed, but there wasn't really anything that I was allowed to do. You're working, but you're not working, that kind of thing. So it wasn't, I just couldn't understand what went on, because at that time, you know, politics had started, and my father had started knocking them, started with RAPC and stuff like that. And it's not even the leaders, it is the people around that were hitting me left, right, and center. You know, oh, your father said this yesterday. Oh, this. No, we can't trust you. Oh, you're a mole. You know, sometimes I questioned, why did I even come here? You know, there are times where I will just drive to the office and I'm like, no, I can't go and face this kind of thing. You know, it was very, very traumatizing for me. But one thing I'm proud of is, no matter what went on, I had the opportunity to be there. I had a commendation letter, which is the most important thing, more than money.
From the former Vice President?
Yes, more than money, more than anything. And I like him as a person, as a boss. We get along. He's a wonderful person to me, and I cannot not be grateful to him. So I am grateful for that opportunity. But to other people, you know, there are regrets that I've had that, okay, I shouldn't have reacted. There are some people that, you know, there's a point that you will get in life where if you're faced with challenges, some you face them, you know, to defend yourself. Some you ignore, or some you just try and be, you know, just let peace be. So there are people that I shouldn't even have given the chance to do things to me that they did. But overall, it's over now. 8 years was just like a flash. It's over.
In retrospect, how would you describe, in highlights, the impact you made while you served in the office of the Vice President?
Well, I was technical assistant to the Vice President on domestic and sexual violence. So, as you know, in Nigeria, we didn't really address that case, particular menace very well in Nigeria. So through the Vice President's office, we were able to create SAC centers, which is sexual assault response centers, in about 8 states. So the rate at which people report cases was high. We brought in Ministry of Health, Ministry of Justice, the police department. We worked together, and it was easier if you come and say, okay, if a woman comes or a man comes, okay, I'm being abused by so person. There were cases being, taken to court, and people won. So a lot of people were given that confidence to be able to come forth with cases, and it was addressed. So I am very happy about that. No matter what, I'm grateful, and I created an NGO to address that. Just recently, I have a case on a small boy, and it's from my experience from there. And that was
how would you describe your involvement, if any, in the just concluded round of elections for 2023? Were you involved in it?
I was, but not too active. I realized that 8 years that I've spent in 8 years of Buhari's government, or before, the 3 times he lost as well, I was very active. I gave my all.
And most of those parts was on the platform of the CPC?
CPC and ANPP.
Right.
Yeah, so I was fully active, I was up and down. And then I was treated. So, sometimes when you go through something, you get experience. So I did, but I didn't overdo myself. I didn't overdo myself. I just did what I could. I didn't go overboard because I've learned so much that I just needed to keep my sanity, in check. And besides, my son wasn't feeling well, so I wasn't too much in the, he had a tumor taken out, so I wasn't really opportune to have most of my time out there to be running from one state to another.
Just a while ago, before we jumped on this conversation, you did mention the Trader Money Initiative. Yes. Today, we hear next to nothing about it. Was that not a flash in the pan? Are you proud of that initiative?
I am proud that that was a project the Vice President and I discussed.
Whose idea was it? Yours or his?
It was my idea. I started when I was a councillor.
Altogether, your idea?
Rural women empowerment. So I told him, when we were campaigning in 2014, 15, I told him that this is what I do. He asked me what are the projects that I'm doing as a councillor, what are the things. So I told him this is what I'm doing. I'm empowering young people and women. But I do give them the capital. You can keep it, not for them to give me.
More like grants?
Yes, from my own pocket. So if my salary comes, I will put together something in a month, and I will get some women together, maybe 10, give them, and then next month, that was how I was doing. So he told me, can you do it on a broader
scale?
I was like, yeah, that's very possible. But I told him that we cannot give them for free. We need to train them how to manage their finances, how to do their business, how to save, and there were steps to which they could qualify for them to be able to get that loan. It was like a soft loan, no interest. So he was like, okay, using their BVN, and it's not about somebody or a politician from this particular area saying, oh, okay, I have 10 women. No, we go to the markets. So I said we need to do a pilot of the 774 local governments. We pick 100 women each, give them 10,000 naira, train them, and monitor their progress over 6 months, and they pay back. So that if they pay back, we can give them more. And if they pay back, that is when they will be able to, understand that they need to keep their businesses. If not, sometimes if you give people money to go and do businesses, they go and do other things. They need to do domestic stuff, and they'll come back again. So we need to follow the due process. But I don't think it was followed properly because I wasn't in charge of it. I was taken to domestic.
But sorry to bump in on you. That initiative became controversial at the time, and the former vice president was caught in the web. How did we get to that point?
I really do not know because I was off it. It was a project. I was just looking through my email and I saw, you know, my emails to him. So I really don't know what happened. I just gave them the template and I don't know what happened.
Right.
Yes.
So just 1 minute. We have had just a round of elections now, 2023. We have 2027 in front of us. I'm not sure you're going to give me your word that in the next 3-4 years you're still going to be in the APC, but I'm sure you're still going to be as interested in the governance and leadership of Nigeria as you have always been. Just give me, if you like, a snapshot of your political future as much as we can see.
First of all, I know I'm not running for office.
Anytime soon or forever?
Anytime soon. It's not something I can see now, but I will be active.
Maybe taking up appointive position?
If I am
if it
called
opens
to
up.
serve, fine. If I'm not, I'll just keep being in the party and do my business because you can't rely on politics to survive. So I will do my business and do other things that I need to do.
I would like to say a big thank you to you, Zainab Buba Galadima, for coming to talk to us tonight on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for watching Big Talk here on Global Television. I'm Uyag Mofwegwe. I'll see you again.